Do you want to know what's insane? My grandfather came to this country with $1 in his pocket. $1. $1. And he made for himself, within his 60 years of life, a beautiful life. Successful. He owned multiple homes, started multiple businesses, put all of his children through college, paid for their weddings, and these were elaborate, expensive, luxurious weddings. Now, my mother, my father, successful. They have, a life for themselves. They've owned multiple businesses. They have, vehicles and are able to pay for their life expenses. They put all of us through college. They're still putting my siblings through college. And if and when I want a wedding, they'll be able to fund that for me. At least I think so, right? My aunts, both of them, they have homes. They have, good lives for themselves. Nobody is living shittily. But the crazy thing is, I cannot envision myself ever owning a home, ever being able to afford a car or pay bills. And it's crazy, okay? I have a full-time job. I work sometimes I'm working 55 hours a week. Sometimes I work more than that. Like, I literally am always working, constantly working. And in my mind, it is just super unconceivable to ever meet the threshold of being super financial and stable in the finances that I have, to one, afford a life that I think is A, sustainable, but also comfortable, and B, do anything outside of the realm of bare necessity. And I told my husband this today, and he was like, you know what? I feel like what our parents achieved yesterday will never be our reality. And it's gonna just take us a lot longer to get there. And I don't know why people constantly want to talk about the work ethic of young people. Because if anything, I feel like young people are just constantly working. But the only difference here is that you're constantly working, and for what? At the end of my pay cycle, I have money, but I don't have any of the other things that older generations were afforded. I don't have the security. I don't have the promise of being able to build a life for myself. Do you guys realize what it means that so many young people don't even have in their mind the concept of being able to be homeowners? And it's not just a thought, right? That's the reality. The cost of living is outpacing wages. People cannot provide for the families that they do have, let alone start families at all. And it's just so sad, because if you talk to somebody that's of a different generation, not, millennials or Gen Z or Gen X, whatever the fuck we are, if you talk to a boomer, they're just gonna say that you're not working hard enough. But there's no amount of hard work that can get us out of the predicament that we're in. And it's super scary. And it's frustrating. So
I am literally on the cusp of really just giving the fuck up. I'm so exhausted of pretending to be okay, and then people still demanding me to be more, to be bigger, to be better for their own personal enjoyment, but not for my own mental fucking health. I find it very exhausting as a woman, as a black woman, as a queer black woman, to have to be everything for everybody. Women want me to be their best friend and confidant and their advice giver and leech all of my energy to bring them joy. Men want me to give them seduction. They want me to smile. They want me to only give the right answers and allow them to be in charge. Society wants me to shut up, go to work, be quiet, do as I'm told. My family wants me to be a support system, consistently giving all of myself as if I haven't become a completely new person since I've been an adult. My boss needs me to be attentive, detail-oriented, focused, as if the world around me isn't completely crumbling into shit and I don't have enough money to pay my goddamn bills or clean water to drink in some areas of America, and then we still have to just smile and pretend like everything's okay. I just have to give too much. It's too fucking much, and I'm really tired. I have this constant need for escapism because I'm trying to bleed out of the skin of capitalist individualist society, but I am sucked back in because I'm forced to, and I'm really about to quit on y'all. and leave this fucking place. I want to leave. I want to leave America. I want to leave corporate world. I want to leave the idea of how I should be a woman. I just want to be. I just want to be without any transcriptions of how I should be. Can I do that? Without any stipulations of anyone getting pissed about what I can and cannot do? That's what I want to do. And I'm about to do that shit, and I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Yo, this world is so backwards. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of not being able to afford daycare because it's the cost of my weekly pay for one day. I'm tired of spending $200+ a week just to feed my family. I'm tired of filling my gas tank twice a week when I go to work twice a week and work from home the other days. I'm tired of working 2 jobs just to live the bare minimum, just to make it. This economy is not set up for families or working moms. I'm just tired. I'm tired. But oh, you make too much for government assistance, so we can't approve you. But you don't make enough to live, so
this is what it's like living paycheck to paycheck. So my husband's in the military, right? We don't make a lot of money, so we live paycheck to paycheck, and I coupon like a motherfucker to help cut down on our grocery spending because groceries are expensive as fuck right now. And we weren't doing too bad, you know. We had enough money to pay our bills and to buy our groceries with some coupons involved, a lot of coupons involved. But we still had just enough to survive, essentially. And of course, when you're finally doing okay, something always has to happen. So today, my husband's phone broke, and he has only had this phone for a 1.5 years. So I was incredibly pissed off because we have our phone bill through T-Mobile, and we were 3 months away from paying off both of our phones. And we have a really high phone bill through T-Mobile. Not gonna lie, T-Mobile's really fucking expensive. Even if you're on the military Magenta plan, it's still expensive. So we were planning on paying off our phones and then just switching over to Mint Mobile. And if you don't know what Mint Mobile is, Ryan Reynolds owns it, and it's a really cheap phone company and honestly really great. We know a lot of people who have them, and so we were planning on switching over to cut down on our phone bill so that we can save a little bit of extra money and not have to struggle so much. But of course, my husband's phone had to fucking break today. It wasn't turning on, wasn't charging, nothing, it just broke. And it had been having issues for the past week, but we were just praying and hoping that it would hold on for another 3 months. And no, we didn't have insurance on the phones because we couldn't afford the extra cost in our phone bill each month. Because again, we live paycheck to paycheck. Every time my husband gets paid, that paycheck is gone in 24 hours to all of our bills and groceries. And of course, this had to happen today, the day before my husband gets paid. So he hasn't gotten paid yet. And he can't go without a phone because, again, he's active duty military and he gets called in a lot. And they can't call him if his phone is broken. So I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Because we had to take our credit card that we just started paying down, okay? We just started paying down because that bitch was maxed out. Because before I started couponing, we were using it for groceries to survive. So that credit card was maxed out and we were just starting to pay it down. And we had to use that credit card to pay his phone off the rest of the way today and buy a whole new phone and pay for, you know, you have to pay for the taxes and stuff up front, which was like, I think $172, some shit like that. So yeah, we had to do that today. And so that credit card is now maxed out again. And so we're just back in debt again. And instead of leaving T-Mobile in 3 months to go to a cheaper phone plan to save us like $55 a month, we now have to stay with T-Mobile for another 12 months until this new phone is paid off. And people can try and say, how about just make extra payments every month on the phone? We can't afford that. Again, we live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, that's what it's fucking like. Y'all, it's so stressful out here. Fuck. I don't understand how the other 64% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck are surviving right now. Because if anything happens, you're fucked.
So first off, I know that it is way worse than this, what I'm about to show you, in other parts of the United States, but I have to share this. This was posted in my local community page this morning. Available for rent. 2,500 square foot house, 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 2 master bedrooms. Kitchen has granite countertops, stainless steel, they've done paint, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff that they think is, like, gonna incentivize you, but why would it incentivize me if I don't actually own it? You can only have small pets. Renters responsible for all utilities, no smoking inside the house. There is an apartment in the basement of the house that will be rented separately, so you don't even get the full house. $2,200 per month with a deposit of $2,200 and a pet deposit of $300. Minimum 720 credit score, 3 times the income to rent. As much as I hate math, let's do some. $2,200 a month times 12 is $26,400. When you add in that deposit and the pet fee, $28,900. So you might as well say 30 grand for the year to rent this place. When you do $2,200 a month times 12 and then times it by 3, you get $79,200. And then if you add in that deposit and the pet fee, again, $81,700. So let's go ahead and say that to rent this place, you have to make minimum $82,000 a year. Now, I don't know what you guys consider a small town, but this was the population of my county 2 years ago. 37,188. And the reason I say that is because it's very rare that I go on Indeed in my area and find a job offering more than $13 to $14 an hour. If you make $80,000, $90,000 a year, you're probably going to buy. You're going to buy before you absolutely cannot buy at this point. So the reason I tie in the population and the general wage in this area is because the people that are making $13 to $14 an hour, yeah, they can't afford that, but they're the people that are renting. And just to further this perspective, I quit my last company after 3 years. I had gone from part-time to full-time and switched departments, worked my way up, okay? And as someone in accounting, I was only making about $27,000 a year. That is a wage that I was making working as a supervisor at Walmart about 6 to 7 years ago. Stagnant. Wages around here are stagnant. Again, I know it's worse. I know it's worse. Some of you are going to look at that and go, that's a pretty good deal. But knowing my area, that blew my mind to read. That landlord is going to make easily $30,000 just on that, and they didn't disclose the amount of the basement apartment underneath either. So they're probably getting another $20,000, let's say, on that. I'm just throwing out numbers now. Eat the fucking rich. And if you're a landlord that's doing this kind of shit, eat you too.